Hey everyone, Sarah Brown-Wessling here from the Council of Chief State School Officers National Teacher of the Year program. And I'm excited to introduce Voices from the Classroom, the State Teacher of the Year podcast. CCSSO's National Teacher of the Year program provides a platform for exceptional educators to elevate issues that affect teachers and their students, to expand their leadership roles, and to inform policy and practice. I was named National Teacher of the Year in 2010, and since then, I've been committed to sharing the stories and elevating the voices of State Teachers of the Year. It is my hope that this podcast will give you insight into the incredible work they do. As we are very much aware, the 2020-2021 school year is so different from anything we could have imagined. Not only do the physical classroom environments look different for students, they feel different as educators navigate responding to two radical changes in our society: the COVID-19 pandemic and the heightened awareness of institutionalized racism. Through this first series, My First Lesson of the Year, we hope to capture the true essence of the return to school from an educator's perspective. In these episodes, the 2020 State Teachers of the Year will walk us through the ways they are approaching instruction and maintaining a connection with their students in this new environment. You can join the conversation on social media too, by using the hashtag NTOY20 or by visiting us online at ntoy.org. That's NTOY.org. Let's begin. This is Sarah Brown-Wessling. Welcome, Teresa Bielstein, and thank you for joining me for this conversation today. So let's jump right in. Can you just introduce yourself to us?
Hi, yes, thank you for having me, Sarah.
Yeah.
My name is Teresa Bielstein. I am teaching in Maryland, and I am a third grade teacher here at one of our public elementary schools.
Wonderful. So can you tell me about one of your first lessons of this year and describe what it was like for you and your students?
Absolutely. So especially for our youngest learners, I really feel the importance and the weight of building a classroom community from the very first moment of the very first day. And so the best way that I know how to do that is with a shared experience that we can all have together. So every year on the first day of school, I do something called a dry ice bubble. And so it's a science experiment, and it's a demo because they're third graders. They can't be handling ice, but I fill a bucket with water and I put a cube of dry ice in it. And I tell them that the still water is like their brains when they're not learning. When you add the dry ice to it, it starts to bubble and starts to grow. And I explain that that's how their brains will be as they learn and as they take on challenges and really work hard during third grade. And so then I take like a soapy shoelace and drag it over the top of the bucket, and it creates a bubble that fills and fills and fills, and then it pops and all the steam kind of drapes down and goes out, and they all try to touch it, and it just gets so much excitement going in the classroom. And from my first day of my first year teaching, that is how I have started every morning on the first day of school. And I think that small 10-minute activity sets the tone for the entire year.
Right.
And they know that they're in a place that's exciting. They're in a place that they're going to learn new things. And, you know, this year, obviously, it had to look a little different because they weren't in the classroom. But, you know, through the magic of technology, we were able to, you know, kind of take the laptop and zoom it in on what was going on. And, I could still explain it and they could still experience it together. And that was, you know, that was the key, is that we have that shared experience that we can refer to, and it's in our common language now. And that's really kind of how we kicked off our year.
That is so amazing. I can just imagine like the drama of it.
Yes, it's very dramatic. They freak out every year. They're just like faces, just jaws drop. And as a teacher, so it's so wonderful to see them buy in so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's something I'm sure they will never forget. They will always remember in third grade, right? On the first day of school.
Always.
I'm sure. I am sure. That's so neat. And so you talked a little bit about how this lesson was different this year than usual because you are fully online right now. Is there anything else that was different that you kind of had to take note of or you had to account for on that first day?
Yeah, I mean, I think that beyond even just that one engagement, it's been an exercise in patience. Mm-hmm. I think for a lot of teachers, I tell myself every morning to pack my patience because it can really be a challenge to try to assist and support these young learners. And all their needs are different. They have connectivity issues or, I always remind myself that they are in a world that they did not create. So, whatever their situation is, if they're late to the meeting or if they have to leave early or if they're not engaged, I just try to remember that they're not in my classroom environment where I have control over the situation.
Right.
But I'll remember they don't have control over it either. Uh-huh. So to try to still kind of wrap my arms around them and make sure that they feel like I'm there for them, I understand them, right. And that regardless of their home situation, our Google Meet and our online classroom is still a place where they can feel safe and at home.
Yeah.
And so taking the time to build that in and to connect with each student, I've been trying to do that even more than ever when we were in the brick and mortar classroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything that this first lesson taught you about your students or about yourself or about teaching right now?
I think that it reminded me that regardless of where students are physically sitting, they're thirsty for knowledge and they are excited to learn. They want to be with their classmates and their teacher, and they'll take it even if it's online. That's not the ideal, but they want to be engaged with each other and with their education. And I think that their reactions were so similar online as they were in person that it kind of reminded me that the format is not as important as the content and as the delivery. And I think that was a good lesson for me and for them that we can all see that even though it's not the same, that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be worse or that it has to be ineffective. It's just going to be a little different.
Yeah. I think that's a good lesson for all of us, for sure. For sure. This has been so lovely. I want to come be in your third grade classroom and see this happen. That's so neat.
Time. You can join us anytime.
That would be awesome. Well, virtually, right?
Right, exactly.
Exactly. And I am definitely taking this mantra about packing my patience. That is so beautiful and something that I will be packing a lot of, I think, in the days and weeks and months to come.
We all need it.
Yeah, we do. We do. Well, thank you so much for participating in this and being so transparent about your experience this year. We are really looking forward to sharing these thoughts and insights broadly, and I know it's going to inspire a lot of teachers. So thank you, Teresa.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you for listening to the first series of Voices from the Classroom, the State Teacher of the Year podcast. This podcast is brought to you by the Council of Chief State School Officers National Teacher of the Year program. It's our honor to elevate the voices of educators across the country and provide them with a national platform to amplify their message and advocate on behalf of their students and colleagues. Please share these lessons on social media with the hashtag NTOY20. That's hashtag NTOY20. Let's keep the conversation going.